Episode 321. Our trip to Doma has been waylaid by Gosetsu's heroic sacrifice, and now that he's captured, I guess we have to find some help from the characters over by this tower. We're not going into the tower itself, definitely not. That's all side content stuff that I'll probably cover at some point, but the jury's still out on whether or not I'm actually going to get to the top of the tower in my recordings here. We are a necromancer, so I guess I could do it. Don't know if it's actually like harder or easier to do the tower. It'd take a lot of studying though. There's no mistaking that design. It has to be them. Yeah, more pirates. Oh, we're getting some kind of gesture here. It would seem we have found a Confederate settlement, mayhap even their headquarters, judging by the size of the place. So Gosetsu bade us seek out the Confederacy for aid and succor, the self-same Confederacy that refuses to openly oppose the Empire. Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained, I suppose. At the very least, they're unlikely to ask us for the ties. Hopefully they radioed in and told these other guys that we already paid the ties. I'm sure they know. Those would be the characters we talk to for doing the tower stuff. I don't actually know when we unlock that. Do we unlock it right after we do this part of the main story, or is it after we do the entire expansion? Well, I guess we unlocked Palace of the Dead pretty early on without even completing a Realm Reborn, so we might get this pretty soon. I'll just leave it for later, if we do unlock it. This should make things easier. Yeah, don't have to radio in if this guy's here. Look who I found. What wind brings you hither of all places? Were you not bound for Otto's shores? Yeah, but then we were attacked. Or we attacked. We sprung a trap. We threw ourselves at the wolves, or whatever. I see. I trust you have not forgotten our previous conversation on the subject? No? Then what do you want? A second opinion? Very well. Come with me. I'll take you to the captain, Rasho. Just like that? An audience with their leader? How very accommodating. We must needs choose our words carefully. You leave it to me. I've always been good with people, and this will also give me a chance to use the Eastern greeting they showed me in Revenant's Toll. Now that's the gesture we're getting, I see. That's close. No, it must be right up here. Right here, even. There it is. Huh. Funny place. How much does this make? There's only 4 in the open world, I think. At this point in the release schedule. Yeah, it's probably on this island, so we'll do that later. What are you looking out for? By the look of it, our new recruits have, once again, charged into a head-to-head battle with some deadly sea beasts. Those fools never learn, do they? You can tell that from here. The sun is setting pretty quickly. If we are about to head into a cutscene, which might be thumbnail material, then let's try to do this fast so we can actually get something. Something with the daylight, anyway. On second thought, maybe I shouldn't be the one to do this. No, you volunteered. It's never this simple, not with pirates. And if they're anything like Carvalane, then may the gods have mercy on us all. There he is, then. Our illustrious leader. Speak. No need to be shy. Greetings. You must be Rasho, leader of the Confederacy and so on. I realize this is all a bit sudden, but the thing is, we have a little favor to ask. And Alfie knows she is not. Oh gods, I've probably broken half a dozen rules of Far Eastern etiquette already. Well, I'm sorry about that, but you have to understand that we're in a hurry, so I'm going to stop talking now. When in doubt, bow. Men who revere manners and tradition can be found the world over, but not here. Your candor is appreciated. Speak your heart. Gosetsu, a former leader of the rebellion. I know of him. Why he bade you petition us for aid and succor, however, I know not. At the risk of repeating myself, to join the Confederacy is to renounce all other ties. We are beholden to none, allied with none. When Doma was invaded by the Empire 25 years ago, we did not rush to her defense. Knowing this, do you honestly expect us to help you? Or help you drive the Imperial forces out of Isari? The Guardians have long maintained a presence in this region, and we would be fools to break the peace, fragile as it is. Besides, you are capable warriors, yes? With guile and preparation, you can surely resolve this matter yourselves. It is imperative that our presence here remain a secret for as long as possible. For us to openly engage the Imperials at this time would endanger everything we have come here to achieve. You have told us why you cannot fight, not why we should fight in your stead. If you would speak to me of lives saved, I would speak to you of slaughter. How many will die when all pretense is lost, and the Guardians declare war on the Confederacy? Hate is a luxury we cannot afford. You are free to come and go as you please, but you will receive no further aid. Thank you for your hospitality. If you would excuse us. So much for a rescue mission. All ties that bind a man must be renounced, without exception. If he is to find a place here, former lovers and bitter enemies alike must learn to bury their past and work side by side, or else be cast out. No matter how deep a man's hatreds may run, he cannot let them dictate his actions. The good of the Confederacy takes precedence over all. The captain's word is final. Can't say I didn't warn you. A neutral stance, sure. That bit about, lovers and enemies and hate and all that. I guess it's all well and good, but it seems like they're not really... Well, based on their interaction with the Guardians, over that-a-way, that little standoff with the boat, things aren't really tenable at the moment. They're probably heading in a downward spiral. I wish I could say I'm surprised, but I'm not. Hey, Komoi. I know that didn't go well, but I'm not prepared to give up on them yet. Gosetsu told us to come here for a reason. He must have believed we could convince them to help us. We just have to work out how. My thoughts exactly. I'm glad to hear we're of the same mind. 'Tis little wonder they refused. We've done naught to persuade them. The real work begins now. We need to learn more about the Confederacy, what their needs and weaknesses are. Once we know that, we'll know how to earn their trust. Alright. Time to do some random side quests, I guess. Probably after we do this one, I guess. What are we inspecting? We're just rooting around looking for information through their random barrels or whatever. I like it. That's what Komor would do. The arms and armor have been piled up haphazardly. They display no signs of recent use or maintenance. Instead of just asking this guy, we're just rooting around their stuff. I like that. Where's Alice? Want to get her flavor text. Such unusual designs. Unlike the standards of most nations and organizations, they've chosen to incorporate a variety of symbols. Oh yeah. A testament to their diverse heritage. And yet they abandoned that heritage, kind of. Yeah, I guess instead of one thing, how Engashi has this one symbol, They have like all of these different symbols in their flag. And I mean, like a flag has a lot of real estate on it. It doesn't just have to be one symbol. More like a quilt than a flag, but who says a flag has to be like one thing? They've got plenty to eat, by the look of it, though it's mostly the same stuff. What if they trade much with outsiders? Trade? Well, they're pirates. I don't know how much they trade. Oh, what's this? If you refuse to pay the ruby ties, we will strip you of everything you have, including the very clothes on your back. Gahaha. At least give them their shirts. Cover up yourselves. What are we looking for? It's a rather wide circle, this. It's gonna be mostly along the beach, I guess. And one here, at least. Taking an interest in the ship. Good eye. She's not much to look at now, but once upon a time she was a beauty. I don't know, it looks okay to me. It's got like some color there. Nice architecture. Is it architecture if it's a boat? Whatever. The Confederacy favors flotillas of smaller ships to capture and board errant vessels. The larger ones, like this Sekibune, only take part in major engagements. Not that we've had any of those recently. What with those imperial bastards throwing their weight around? If it wasn't for them, well, no use moaning about what you can't change, eh? Okay, yeah, they do have problems with them. I guess the leaders were being coy or whatever about not talking about their problems with the Imperials, but they're probably building up towards a fight, I guess. Like building up towards wanting one. This Sekibune may be past her prime, but that gives her all the more character, I'd say. A pity she so rarely sees combat. Alas, none can deny that a flotilla of smaller ships is more effective in most cases. Easier to trap a larger vessel, and less danger to us all should they be armed. Guessing the last one is over on the shore. Somewhere along it. No, here we go. More rooting around their stuff. A number of crates and barrels have been stored here. On closer inspection, however, most are empty. Keep on getting confused by this one thing. We're gonna do that eventually. I think we're gonna do that this episode even. Pretty sure we're heading that direction, like right after this. I think we gotta do like a few side quests on this island first, and we're moving on to the next. We should go to all the major points in this part of the story. I don't think we'll like come back to the Ruby Sea later. At least not in this sea. The base part of the expansion. Pretty sure there's like some patch stuff here, and always like the usual side quest stuff that takes you here, but we're pretty much one and done with this for the main expansion. Had a good look around, then we just need to wait for this. Sorry to keep you waiting, but I wanted to talk to as many people as I could. It's just as Tansui said, they have no intention of standing up to Yotsuyu. I don't know if you got a different impression, or two got a different impression. Under the right circumstances, they might help us. I think the situation is coming to a head, yeah. I agree. It's obvious that they are struggling to survive, and that they blame the Imperials for their recent troubles. Even if we do nothing, it is inevitable that they will come into conflict with the Empire sooner or later, and deep down they all know it. The only thing holding them back at the moment is the belief that they lack the strength to survive the coming war. So we need to prove them that we're not all talk. Or prove to them that we can be valuable allies in the fight. We're the Warrior of Light. We're the most valuable ally there is. But in the end, we're just one ally, I guess. And what better way to demonstrate our worth than by seeking out people with mundane problems and offering them our expert assistance. Yep, there we go. It's always that. Wouldn't be the first time we've had to earn someone's trust by helping them out with this and that. And you know it won't be the last. It will never ever be the last. I'll look around the western end of Onokoro. You two take the east. Good luck. We got the bow too. Eastern bow. Very polite. Not exactly our style though. I mean, it's kind of exactly our style that we're wearing the Eastern stuff. Like the clothes that I specifically picked out to look Eastern, but that's not the point. Aranami, the last voyage. Oh, it seems like we're splitting between 3. That's a new one. We've had like the main quest split us up into 2 different main quests or something like that before. I don't think it's ever split us up into 3. We could pick up all 3 at once, but that's not really how I want to do these videos. We'll take our time. Starting with this, the last voyage, first. You there. Ah, you. Have you seen a bumbling clod of an Aura? The new recruit I ordered to patrol the northern edge of Onokoro. He's late in returning. Strange boy it was, quite brooding. Reluctant to speak unless spoken to first. Better that than a fool who never holds his tongue, perhaps. But as I would enjoy dragging him back by the ear, I cannot. Duty compels me to remain. You, on the other hand, have no such obligations. Okay. I sent the boy to patrol the region northwest of Heaven on High, which we haven't really asked any questions about yet. I guess we'll come up to that. If he is not there, then I know I know not where else he could be. I forget why the pirates are sort of stationed around here. Like, they don't go into Heaven on High themselves, do they? They don't exactly seem like the type that can survive the more grueling floors, maybe. I feel like I vaguely remember this quest. At least I vaguely remember this area behind the tower. Why do I remember this? It can't just be for like this quest, it had to be something else. I don't know. Maybe it was this quest though. Is this quest memorable? I doubt it. You cast about for the Confederate recruit, but see no one matching his description. We'll worry about all the new location stuff later, and in fact I think... I thought there might be something that's only reachable by flying, it doesn't actually look like it. Okay, maybe we will actually do the new area stuff first. Cast him out for the Confederate recruit. And at last, spy a young Ari man lurking behind the rocks to the west. Okay. Wait, actually I guess we're going in that direction anyway. I saw the sparklies over there, I thought we had to like inspect all locations. Okay, good. We are doing the main quest and clearing out this portion of the map. There we go. What's all this though? This little... whatever it is. Oh wait, this is something we can only fly to reach. You know what? I remember this now. This is something for Heaven on High. Don't know if I ever did it on my main character though. Who are you? You do not look like the woman, or look like a woman of the Confederacy. We are not important. I mean, we are very important, but it doesn't matter to you. Forgive me. 'Twas but yesterday we bid farewell to one of our own, and I worried that she might have lost her way. We laid her to rest in a boat and pushed her out till the current claimed it. For the sea is our home, now and ever after. But those sent thither with burdened hearts may drift back to shore, it is said. Out of concern for her comrades, she strove to earn far more than her keep. She hunted rare and deadly game in treacherous waters, and lost her life for it. But my vigil is ended. Her vessel has not returned to Onokoro. She has made peace with this life, and placed her faith in us to live on. A Viking funeral, kind of. Is Voodoo also doing the main quest? Looks like it. guess we'll go back this way, the long way around, and actually see what this might be. Probably just some random cave. I like how that crazy mountain sort of stands out as a landmark. What's it actually called? Hell's Lid, that's right. We'll get back to that one later. Nothing here, just like this big tree. It's probably a very important botanist tree, maybe. It's not the 10,000 year pine, that's over here. Could also be the site of like a special fate or something. Not like a special fate, but like a non-standard fate. I don't know. Could also just be there for like some random side quest or something. So, what of my recruit? Did you find him napping on the beach or some such? He was doing a funeral, or like the follow-up to a funeral. What? All this time he was standing watch for the funerary vessel? Huh. So rarely does he give voice to his thoughts. I had no idea our comrade's death had affected him so. Too quick was I to judge him. It's good that you found, or that you went in my stead. Else I might have misspoken and made a fool of myself. Please accept this as a token of my gratitude. For learning, we learned about this guy's culture, I guess. Never underestimate the importance of guard duty, I say. If one truly values his freedom, he must ever be ready to defend it. Alright, on to the next. Kajika. By the way, Alice and Lisa around? Any flavor text? I don't see them. The arrows of misfortune. You strike me as a strong and capable individual. I have a job for you, Westerner, if you are courageous as well. On the beach far to the west lies the carcass of a Yuki, feathered with arrows. I would have you go and retrieve those which may still be of use. While you are about it, I should be glad if you were to butcher its tail for meat. Very good meat to sing Yuki tales, you know. But I did say you would not, or you would need to be a courageous sort, and I meant it. The beast was young. Do not be surprised if an angry mother mourns its child. How grim. I'm guessing this is the guy that we saw Yuki. It's probably the same Yuki that we saw, like, taken down before, like earlier in the story. It's probably the guy that took it down. Retrieve what arrows you can from the carcass, and bring me the meat of its tail. Do this, and you'll have my gratitude. What about the rest of the Yuki? Isn't there, like, good meat in the rest of it? Or are they coming back for later? You know what, they're probably just sending me out to deal with the mother, which is probably like hard for them to deal with, and after I come back with the tail as proof, then they'll know they can retrieve the rest or something. That's probably not the case, but it's fun to imagine that they're pulling one over on me in that way. Jumping the shark? Some kind of shark thing? Shark fate, Yeah, all of the aquatic enemies that you fight in Final Fantasy XIV, just due to the way the game is set up, they all have to be capable of flight. I guess the ones that are not capable of flight are just, well, they don't exist. I guess sometimes maybe you see like a random shark in the water that you can't actually fight, and it's just some kind of random set piece or something. I gotta remember how to play this. I'm actually back after a long time away from the game. I don't remember how to play Ninja. Better remember quickly though. I mean, I remember how everything works just looking at it. I know what all of these symbols mean. What I don't remember is the rotation. And like the optimal stuff to do one after the other. The opener is one thing, and I guess usually the opener is something that you repeat at the 2-minute mark for most classes. But after the opener, there's like an order of operations for what's the most important thing to do first. And certain classes are more lenient than the others. I think Ninja is pretty lenient. The main thing I think to keep on track, or to keep on top of, is to be doing these ninja things like every 20 seconds, or just not to overcap on those since they're pretty powerful, while also picking the right ninja thing so you can do this move and do the other moves and I guess use the right AoEs and single target stuff and whatever else. And it's gonna get more complicated later, I guess. You've been away for some time, perhaps in search of a young Yuki corpse. Yeah, the one you told us to go after. I see I did not misjudge you. Thank you for your help. Would that I could have tended to my own kill, but such is life. I pity the meat is not as delicious as it is nutritious. Under normal circumstances, we would not bother hunting Yuki as game, but as you may have heard, these are not normal circumstances. Arrows too must be reused when possible. A prudent measure must become necessary, alas. Did I read that right? A prudent measure become necessary, alas. With every passing day our future grows more uncertain. But this day we shall have full bellies, and in that we must take solace. And wayward travelers need not rest the ire of vengeful Yuki by wandering near my neglected kill. Oh, yeah, har har. A strange sigh passes your lips. Have I said something odd? No matter. Thank you again for your aid. Very funny that. Very funny follow-up. Oh, okay, we learned Dokomori. The upgraded version of this thing, of Mug. So it still works the same as Mug. Like, we still use it in the same situation, but it's like, what's different now? So this isn't the one that we have to have stealth on for. That's this one, or the Shadow Walker thing. So yeah, this was just increases damage, so we want to use that one first. But also the other one increases damage. Trick attack increases our damage by 10% for 15 seconds. And this one is 5% for 20 seconds, so I guess this one is 20 seconds indicating that we do it first and then we follow up with Trick Attack. I'm pretty sure it's designed that way. Or do we want to do the 10% before we do the 5%? Or whatever. I'll just assume Dokomori is first, maybe. And the change here is that it does a cone now, so it's like an AoE. Very important. And it still does a thing of like increasing the drop chance for items. Doesn't really matter. Oh, it does Ninki Cage stuff now. That's good. That's a lot of Ninki. Well, I won't worry about like whether or not we need to use Trick Attack or Dokomori first. I'll just assume we use Dokomori and do the rotation that way. If I have to swap one or the other later, then I guess I'll consider that. Once I have like all the buttons unlocked for the full rotation. Should be easy enough to swap like one or the other. Though I guess Trick Attack, if we're in like a trial situation, we have to use Shadow Walker before we can use Trick Attack, since we'll have aggro before we can use this, so... Reminding myself, I think what we want to do is start with like a GCD like this, and then use what? We probably use Dokomori to increase the damage on our basic stuff. Then we use this. Pretend this rabbit is our Hyotone, or rather our Sweet Tone. That'll give us Shadow Walker, and then we can do this thing. And then what? We follow up with like... I think that's all of our attack buffs, so then we want to follow up with Lightning, I guess. Pretend that's Lightning. And then we follow up with a powered up Lightning, I guess. Maybe. And in between all that, we weave in Dream Within a Dream while the attack buff is active, and then we go back to our usual rotation, our usual GCD stuff over here. I think that's what we want to do, probably. Like, after we do this stuff, this goes by so fast, I think we can only fit in like one off GCD. So only one Dokumori or Trick Attack or whatever else, or Dream Within a Dream. Anyway. How may take me? What kind of pirate cannot suffer the sway of the ocean? A new recruit from far-flung shores. Listen well, I have a task for you. Go first to Al Kumo below, and receive of him medicine for men of the earth. Then to Quickscape here, and the hapless Domin bemoaning his wretched fate, quickly. The wind carries his cries to my ears, and I can stand them no longer. Bring the would-be pirate his medicine. I previously worked out the rotation before, like, probably not the optimal rotation, but I did work it out at some point in the previous episode. Don't know if I settled on the same thing that I'm settling on now, but whatever, doesn't matter. I'm at the behest of Afumi for medicine. My very best is yours for the taking. How pitiful the lot of this domain. How pitiful the lot of this domain, unable to stomach the sea. A true confederate could raid a dozen ships while in his cups. Mayhap this one should return whence he came. I have done my part, and you have your medicine. If you tarry, Afumi will only hold you accountable. I'm sure there's still a job he can do while not getting seasick. Maybe he can stand guard on the island. Okay, yeah, we're going back that way. This is why it's optimal to accept all the quests first and then do them one by one, like, before you turn them all in, just, as you happen upon the area. Double them up, I guess. Could have doubled it up with the quest that took us over in this direction. But for these recordings, I just prefer doing them, sequentially, so that you can digest their stories without mixing and sandwiching them in between each other. Ugh, why does it shift and shudder still? Landlubber's best mate. A sack full of victuals to help the would-be pirate keep his insides on the inside. Medicines? Give them here. They may look down on me for resorting to such measures, but I would do aught to render the world stable and motionless once more. You are kind, as is Afumi. You may tell her that I will return to my duties as soon as I am able. I will not soon forget this kindness. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Alright, let's teleport back. There's no easy way up on top from the back, I guess. Is this actually their headquarters? Never actually thought about that. I always thought of this island as just the Heaven on High island, which it is. It's like, that's what it's mainly there for players, I guess. But yeah, I guess the bosses hang out like right here, so it is their headquarters. They don't have like some random boat as a headquarters, I guess, though that would be cool. Adomin was raised in the mountains of his homeland. The first time he saw the sea was after he fled his homeland and came to us. He tosses and turns in his sleep, and when he takes to the water, it is not long before he can no longer stand. But he will grow accustomed to this life. He is hardly the first, after all. The captain, too, was once of Doma, though he cast all aside 25 years ago, when the Imperials took his lands and the lives of his parents and brothers. Okay, backstory on the captain. Perhaps you too will renounce your ties and join us someday? Nah, I mistook you for a recruit before, but I know your tale now. Tansui unfolded all. Think on my offer, Westerner. You may find small joys in the land, but the sea holds salvation. I don't know, not really co-moisting. probably living as a pirate, like out on the high seas. Gotta get used to cramped quarters, and I just don't like that myself, so I'm bleeding that through to Komoy. This is not the direction of the main quest, but I do want to see this platform, I guess. Oh, I guess it is the entrance to Heaven on High. Never really thought about, like, the physical entrance. I'm sure I've seen this before, but, most of the time when you enter Heaven on High, you're hanging out over here, talking to, like, the guys over by the little shack that, like, you turn in stuff to after you do Heaven on High. But I guess in lore, whenever you enter Heaven on High, you go over here. And it actually looks much, much smaller on the outside. Funny that. Turn around and go back once you came. This is a restricted area. Okay. Can't do anything until we actually unlock it. No lore. We do get a pretty decent view, though. Decent enough. It's moody. It's atmospheric. I just prefer daytime lighting, as always. What you got for us? Oh? Grilled turban. Not food. It is food. It's not a turban as in like clothes. You've been busy, haven't you? And now you're here to ask if I need help with anything? Now that you mention it. Maybe we've had trouble with ravenous sharks that have been leaping out of the water and making off with our fish. Damnedest thing, I know, but you wouldn't doubt it if you saw it. We've got to kill the thieving bastards regularly. So happens I sent 3 of my mates out there before you came along. Still, the more the merrier. If you can kill 2 or so, that ought to be enough. Take a few of those rotting fish as bait. I'll not be needing them. Oh, and maybe see if you can't find the other group. They've been away longer than I like. To be honest, I'm more worried about my mates than the sharks at this point. They should have come back by now. Seems like a red flag. And I guess also the fact that this quest is like the funneling quest, the quest that we do after all 3 of the other ones. I guess it might be more important than them, so could be something where things go not as planned, or there might be more deeper plot to this quest than just defeating some sharks. Guess we'll find out. I guess this is sort of the biggest part of the expansion that I don't remember anything from. I pretty well remember the next 2 areas we're going to, like the Doma section and the Upsane section, whatever you would call it. Alright, so let's practice here. Let's pretend I'm starting out and just doing like a rotation. So what I want to do is this, I think, followed by this, and then immediately this, then this, and this powered up. And then we would have done Dream Within a Dream and followed up with like the rest of our stuff. Including weaving in this whenever we could while the buff was active. Get rid of that. The important thing is to get the moves that increase our, well, that give us buffs first. Then we do the rest of them. That's the usual basic strategy. Don't know if anything is an exception to that rule, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're dealing with here. No, wait, where are we? Oh, I see. We're looking for the... Got it. Oh yeah, this part of the map. Oh? Okay, yeah. We're getting into the plot now. guess I do need to activate, I gotta activate True North before I do Trick Attack. Get maximum damage out of that one. Oh, Kami be praised. I don't know what I could have done, or what I would have done if you hadn't come along. My partners and I got separated when we fled. You haven't seen them, have you? Damn. Before the Kojin started chasing us, their leader asked us if we were Domin. They're Yatsu's catchers, I know it. First is sorry, and now this. I've got to tell Rasho and the others. How funny. Well, not funny, but like, ironic? Not exactly ironic. The thing is, they renounce being Domin, they renounce their part in this whole war or whatever, and yet it still comes crawling back towards them, or whatever the euphemism would be. It comes gunning back for them, I guess, you might say. Just because they're Domin, like Yatsu has this weird hate grudge against all Domins, despite being a Domin herself. And even though they renounce their past, they're gonna have to deal with all of that. Which is good for us, for looping them into the war, I guess. You there. Are you the... what are you, or who are you, what do you do here, NPC? You are new to the island, I take it? What business brings you here? Okay, so he is. Yeah. I oversee the security of our island and, as one of the strongest men here, it often falls to me to train our fresh recruits. The men and women we receive into the Confederacy come from all walks of life, and reaches of the world. Some, like me, are from the mountains. Others are from the seas or big cities. None of that matters once you're here, though. Just be willing to learn and work hard, and we'll find a way to get along. If for whatever reason, however, you attempt to solve disputes with violence, you best prepare yourself for a fate worse than death. Okay, what kind of place is this? This is Onokoro, the headquarters of the Confederacy. The tower behind us, okay, here's where we're getting the lore, I guess, is Heaven on High. We call it that because the only people to have ever seen the top of it are now on the heavens, or somewhere quite a bit less pleasant. No one knows what it is or how it got there, but according to ancient legend, it was built by the Kame. As such, Onokoro has come to be regarded as holy ground. Many will avoid drawing near this island, for fear of incurring divine wrath. We of course have taken full advantage of this, and established our center of operations here, away from all manner of prying eyes. Okay. So the reason they're here isn't really for Heaven on High, it's because they know other people won't go near it, I guess. Even though some other guys over in that direction do deal with Heaven on High a little bit, I guess. And I guess those NPCs, even though I call them that, they're not who are you, what do you do here people, they're who are you and what kind of place is this? NPCs, I guess. We've been keeping busy. How about... oh no, you've got that look. What happened now? Ah, there you are, Komoi. I heard you went shark hunting. We too did our fair share of beast calling, though I think Lise made a stronger impression when she bested a drunken pirate in a sparring match. Wish we could have saw that. Fastest knockout to date, I'm told. I should like to think we have proven ourselves to be rather... Why do I get the feeling you have something important to tell me? Turtles? Of the red kind? Kojin mercenaries rounding up Domin Confederates? Surely Yatsuyu has crossed the line now. We must go and speak with Rasho immediately. Even he cannot deny that this changes everything. At least I should like to think that he cannot. We need to speak with Rasho immediately. After I get the flavor text, hang on. What is Yatsuyu thinking, kidnapping Confederates? She has to know why they won't take this lying down, or she has to know they won't take this lying down. Let's get this over with, shall we? How do I get... gaiter like they're wearing. I have these sandal things.
Our most compassionate acquaintances return. For your deeds, we owe you many thanks.
The sandals sort of have the gaiter look that I'm going for with this outfit, but they're not exactly gaiter, and I don't think I have the option to get one yet. I'll probably get one later. Well, whatever. We'll see.
But something tells me our thanks are not sufficient. The strange thing is, I was certain you understood our position. And yet here you are with that same look in your eyes, and those same words upon your lips, I'll wager.
I speak only the truth. The Confederacy will not be spared Yotsuyu's wrath. You have always known this, that one day you would have no choice but to stand up to the Empire. I say to you that day is today, and come once more to ask that you join us in the fight.
How convenient that recent events should lend such credence to your claims. Tell me, do death and destruction always follow in your wake?
I mean, he's kind of got a point. The plot advances whenever we're in the area, whether it's because of us or because of just random chance.
They had no part in it, Tansui. You know this. We all know this. They came and took our Doman brothers. They will torture them for her sport. Murder them for her satisfaction. So we attack and get butchered for our trouble, or do naught and let them have their pound of flesh. If this be our choice, I say we suffer the ignominy. We endure. We survive. There is no better path. Until the day our enemy is grown weaker and we stronger, there can be no retribution. We will wait for a sign. Such is the judgment of the Confederacy.
Okay. The Guardian Empire becoming weaker if you just sit and watch? Somehow I doubt it.
So that's it then. You're just going to abandon them to her. They'd die for you, you know, for the Confederacy. They would die for you, but you wouldn't even think to risk your lives for theirs.
I have one last idea, if you will allow. I'm afraid it's not very good as ideas go. It's exceedingly reckless, in fact, and you may well come to despise me for ever having suggested it. Assuming we survive, that is.
Sounds like a good plan to me. Haven't even heard it yet.
The question being, do you trust me?
I like this answer, though. I like do you even need to ask, but I feel like this one's funnier. I guess we are implying that we might not trust her after this plan works out. Let's see.
We can't stand by and let innocent people suffer, here or anywhere else. I'll do whatever it takes.
Then let us roll the dice. If it's a sign you want, we shall give you one. One rousing enough to make you drive every Garlean out of Isari without a second thought. You are wary of invoking the ire of the Imperial forces stationed in Doma, correct? Know then that once we have rescued our comrade, and freed Isari, we mean to liberate the nation as a whole. You will doubtless require assurances that we are capable of achieving this, and that is only fair. Accordingly, we shall demonstrate our seriousness by depriving the Garleans of a key ally, the Kojin.
Alright, that's how we get to this part of the story. Okay.
What, the three of you, just like that?
Oh, are we telling him now? We're kind of a big deal.
Actually, my esteemed colleague here will attend to it on her own. But the how of it is not your concern, only the outcome.
Okay, I guess we're not telling him. It'll be a bigger surprise when we just come back with a primal's head on a spear or something, so to speak.
If we succeed, you help us liberate Isari. If we fail, you lose nothing. A simple enough wager, if you have the stones for it.
The little miss does make it hard to refuse, does she not?
Words are air. We will weigh you by your deeds.
Yeah, kind of a big detour just to get these guys cooperating with us. I knew it was coming, but all this time I guess Gosetsu's still kind of in danger of being tortured and killed. But it is necessary, I suppose. What's this? Thank you for placing your faith in me. All that remains is to carry out our promise. Ambitious as it is. Yeah, weird thing about her plan here. I guess it's sort of like a Hail Mary to get them to trust us, but it's not exactly much of a plan. It's more so an idea that we're just going to carry out ourselves. She kind of like threw all of the responsibility towards us. I mean, we can do it. Bold claims and even bolder promises. I should be interested to see if you can live up to them. No, under the sea. Wait, hang on. Which one's this? That is not the quest for Heaven on High, I'm assuming, so I think we're actually going to do this before we continue with the main quest. If now is like when it's available, then I guess that's when the game wants us to do it. Okay, yeah, any other current quest. And we'll have to pay attention if this like unlocks a quest chain. We'll see. Your clothes, your manner. You must be a woman of Eorzea. Do you know of the East Aldenor Trading Company then? I hear they're a fairly prosperous vendor from where you're from. Your acquaintances with the Kugane branch office owner. Oh ho. The chief's been searching high and low for a well-connected woman such as yourself. Oh, but before we get into that, allow me to introduce myself. I am Hansaku, and you would be Komoi Moriko. We're a big deal, but we're not telling anyone. Komoi? That should be easy enough to remember. Now, Komoi, do me a favor and meet with the chief, would you? Ever since those damn Guardians strengthened their grip on Hingashi, our contacts in Kugane have quit trading with us. He could really use your help in establishing a new business partner. Please, I wouldn't ask if I wasn't desperate. You see, I only just joined the Confederacy. Life has been hard, really hard, for me lately, and if things were to fall apart here, I'd have nowhere to go. To the west of this place is a tiny lodge. The chief should be there. Unfortunately, I cannot leave my post to show you there, but I trust you'll find it easily enough. I'm counting on you, Komoi. And if you have trouble finding it, just ask around for Tsukikage. That's the chief's name. Right, west. West is this way. In the direction of the W on the compass in the top right. I always have trouble, west and east. It's embarrassing that I still do. Alright, what's going on here? And why aren't you guys wearing pants? I mean, at least they're like covering their shirts. Or covering their chests. As you can see, we are currently in the middle of something important. Come back later. Instead of standing there and gawping, hear me out, or help me out of these ropes, god damn it. I swear to the gods, you're going to regret doing this. Gentlemen, since you refuse to pay the ruby tithe with coin, you shall instead be paying with your blood. I believe an arm each will suffice. Wait, what was the East Aldenor Trading Company? Now I suggest you think twice about this. When word of this gets back, you'll be the ones to pay. Oh? You should have said so sooner. Suzume, see that our distinguished guests are escorted to our best room. In the dungeons. I shall go and sharpen my knives. You heard the man. Get up and start walking. Kinda rough. They used funny sound effects, but this is still pretty rough. I trust you stuck around this long because there was something you wished to discuss with me. Make it quick. As you can see, I am a very busy man. So at last we are joined by someone actually associated with the East Aldenor Trading Company. Excellent. Economy of Dawn is a lifeline, sir. That said, what was that fool thinking? Ansaku should have had the courtesy to accompany our honored guest here. Please allow me to apologize on his behalf, mistress. It seems the ill manners of our subordinate have begun to rub off on us. We have not yet introduced ourselves. I'm Tsukikage, and this is my right-hand man, or right-hand, Suzume. Oh wait, not man at all, but it is his right hand. Well, it seems Hansaku has touched upon the gist of our troubles. Please allow me to fill you in on the details. As you know, all about seeking safe passage to the Ruby Sea must pay our levy, the Ruby Ties. Give us more than we ask, and we might even provide you with some men to guide your ship through especially difficult waters. For as far back as anyone can remember, this system has been in place, enduring even after Doma was occupied by the Imperials. While the Empire has always shown little interest in our activities, with Yatsuyu's rise to power, that has changed. The Royal Viceroy has banned the merchants of Kugane from bartering with us or paying our tolls. With those Bakufu dogs backing her, everyone is far too terrified to disobey. Many outside the port city are also looking to use the current state of affairs to avoid paying their dues. Just like the two... having trouble reading. Like the two we just took into custody. While we have confiscated their goods, without our contact in Kugane to purchase them, they are of little value to us. Thus we look to Authored. If we were able to establish a trade agreement with their biggest vendor, our worries would be over. It is, however, something we cannot accomplish alone. I would look to you for help. Now, I am quite certain the men on the ship we seized are lying about their affiliation. Affiliation. Suzume, show her. This flag and the items we found aboard the vessel do not appear to belong to the East Aldenor Trading Company. We must, however, be certain. We cannot risk the ire of a potential trading partner by attempting to sell them their own goods. Please, take the flag and Suzume's inventory list to one of your contacts at their Kugane branch, and inquire as to whether any of it is from one of their ships. Seems like a rather involved quest. Or rather, an involved quest line. We manage the entirety of the Confederacy's finances, which includes both monetary funds and assets. What you hold in your hands is a list of property we seized from the ship. Do not lose it. It may look easy to draft, but unless you have the eye for detail, or have the eye for detail that I do, you'll find it a real chore. The flag should be enough, but you best also show them that list. I don't think this quest itself is going to be very much, but it seems like what they're laying out for us with that cutscene and like their whole story here, and this Tsukikage guy, like they did a whole introduction for him. Feels like this is going to be like an entire quest chain. I'll just finish this quest real quick. Go a little bit longer this episode just to do that. And then we'll see if it like extends into a quest chain. Oh. We're seeing this a little bit earlier. We'll unpack that kind of worms, I guess, like later in the story, though. Mistress Moriko, what a pleasure it is to see you. How might I be of service to you today? Scarlet flag, inventory list. You'd like to know if this flag, or any of the items listed here, came from one of our ships. I am afraid I cannot help you there. Kikimo, however, might be able to tell you. She is in charge of inventory and is currently stocking our ships at Pier number 1. Alright, to Kikimo, at Pier number 1. And who might you be? Ah, Mistress Moriko. I have heard a great deal about you. Very well, I shall take a look at your flag and list. Flag list. None of these items are even remotely familiar. It is as you suspected. You have been lied to. 'Tis a shame that you were the one to ask. Had it been anyone else, it would have been an easy thing to claim the ship and its goods as our own. Many of the items listed here are worth their weight in gold and then some. With this, those men could have easily paid the tithe several times over. Okay, they're just kind of pulling over them. I guess they're not exactly like innocent bystanders, they're just like trying to get out with more than they should. Such luxurious items can be rather hard to come by, so do let me know if your friends are looking to sell any of this. We'd be more than happy to find a buyer for them. To think that you have contacts, that you even have contacts within the ranks of the Confederacy. You are just as I say, a woman of many parts. Of many parts. I don't think I've heard like that phrase before. Like a jack of many trades or something like that, I've heard, but a person of many parts? And it does seem like this quest is over, but it doesn't feel like we're wrapping up like their plot line. Pretty sure we're gonna get into more shenanigans with them, so we'll do that before we continue with the main story, I think. But only in the next episode. You have made it safely back. I hope your trip to Kugane proved fruitful. Mistress Komoy, you have returned. Very good. Now if you would be so kind as to give the flag and list back to me. Flag list. It was as we suspected then. In light of Mistress Kikimo's proposal, however, not even their evident guilt can sour my mood. Indeed, this is fantastic news, sir. It is everything we had hoped for and more. While certainly promising, we are not yet out of the woods. Mistress Komoy, I trust we can rely on your continued support. Yep, there we go. I have a feeling we will be needing it. Okay. And most people will probably just stop exactly here after they get to hit their current end. They're just not interested in the side quest stuff. But I am, so we'll do it in the next episode. Now would be a good time to take a break.